For a hard-earned thirst, you need a big cold beer. And that beer is Musos, MelbourneMusos. You can get it putting up with the dickhead who moves in next door to a pub and then rings the council and complains about a pub being a pub. You could get it buying a little drum set for your kid and then all of a sudden getting a council letter from the dickhead 2 doors down just because he doesn't like drums. You can get it any old how. As a matter of fact, I got it now. So for a hard-earned thirst, you need a big cold beer, and that beer is Musos, MelbourneMusos.
Hi, how are you? My name's Quinlan. Welcome to MelbourneMusos. Tonight's a little bit of a different show. I've done shows like this in the past, but it's about what happens in any particular suburban street, what happens in any particular city, okay? And this episode's all about noise, okay? Sound and decibel levels and all this sort of business. Now, my guest on tonight's show is Susie Cupidol, who is a wonderful lady in the St Kilda music scene. She works at the Esplanade, the Espy in St Kilda, band booker, been around, big champion for all things music in Melbourne and all that. And what we did was we went down to Music Victoria's EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, consultation session in the week before Grand Final Day, towards the end of September, and sat down and listened to the EPA talk about the upcoming new regulations, the first noise regulation changes in about 3 decades. So it's a big thing, okay? I've already posted some things on social media for the immediacy of it, okay? So you could get the information out there, or I could get the information out there straight away. And this show is all about just how it affects us, okay? Not just musicians playing in bands and all that, although that is one major issue which we're going to address. And the knock-on effect it has for venues all around town. You know, we all know about Sydney's lockout laws and stuff. Melbourne has arguably some of the best music in the world, and it's so underappreciated, it's amazing. To this day, I've had this show since 1995. I've been playing in this town since 1975. I started young. Dad ran a pub. So what happened was I've just seen it Melbourne is just my town, you see. So these kinds of things these kinds of regulations don't just affect venues. I'm going to do a multifaceted show tonight. It also affects us when, you know, the son or daughter comes home and says, I want to play drums. And the first thing is face palm from mum usually. No drums in my house. All that's what I got. And no drums in my pub. Go figure. But what happens is that these kinds of regulations affect us all. And one of the things about it is that because I teach in a Melbourne suburb, I call, sort of outer west whoop whoop, what happens is that even the kids are affected by this. They just want to play some music, and next thing you get, a noise complaint to the council, and they go, I was just doing my homework, Dad. That kind of thing. But this is a twofold thing. I'm actually going to put a drum set together, okay? There's sometimes not that much information about putting equipment together. You see clips of the fastest drummer, the fastest guitarist and all that. And then people don't know how to tune a guitar properly, or put together a drum set, or tune a drum set for that matter. So that's what tonight's about. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go Benny Hill on you. So break out the music, break out yakety sax now, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put together this beginner's drum set for you, and with a few little vocal overlays to show you what to do and all that sort of business. Okay, so it's a twofold thing, because what it is, I go back to the interview on this show with the lovely Susie Cupidol, and secondly, also how it affects any kid, wanting to learn music, anybody, and then, you know, all of a sudden, bang, there's a noise complaint. Why? I was just doing my homework. You know, that kind of thing. So without further ado, here's the show. Hope you enjoy it. And I'm going to put some overlays here, but this is the basic beginner's drum set. I think it's one of the cheapest on the market. Okay, so it's just starting out, you know, sort of thing. Great little, you know, thing to start with, and you can work out whether you're going to be serious or not after a year or two, and then upgrade to anything you want to get, you know, sort of thing. Anyway, without further ado, off we go. Ooh, here we go.
Good evening, this is Shagger Malone from Whoop Whoop West Time Trials for setting up a cheap-ass drum kit. Now, Chris Quinlan has started out of the blocks very quickly there. He's pulled out the box, and there it is. We've got the boxes there. He started with the hardware for some reason. I don't know why, but anyway, there he goes. Ha ha ha. And now he's pulled out the shells of this cheap-ass drum kit. Now he's trying to put it together. You see, because he's been put on by one of the dads of one of his students who has no fucking clue at all on how to put these little pieces of shit together. Anyway, here he goes. And he's doing it for the love of it. There he goes. He might do it for a few beers, but anyway, there you go. Now he's tapping things. Oh, that's a background thing. No, he's still got the hardware. He's got the hi-hat up. That's going very well. And now he's put the seat up, and he's going very well indeed. I mean, he's done this before, the stupid half-assed bastard. Now he's doing the bass drum. Oh, the bass drum's going very well. And there we go. It's taking him a little bit of a time, but now he's there with an hour. Well done, Mr. Quinlan.
Okay, so that took about an hour. Okay, so what we've got now is your basic getting started, little munchkins getting started on the drum kit. Dad, I want to play drums. This is me. No, you're not. Stick with violin. No drums in my pub. Anyway, so what you've got, this is a bit of a two-pronged segment in the sense that I did the Benny Hill in setting up a drum kit really quickly. It's a bit complicated, isn't it, for someone who has just bought a drum kit for their son or daughter and all that, and is now trying, what's going on? That's where the local suburban teacher comes in. I'll do it for a few beers. Anyway, there you go, and a bit of love. And what goes on is you end up with the basic drum kit, okay? Pretty much the cheapest new drum set on the market. It's got its sound. I've still got to tune it up, of course. It's a start, and you can hear the money. And what goes on is that this, for me, and what's happening now with the upcoming changes to noise regulations and stuff, this is like, think of it like 10 years ago. There's a son or daughter. I want to play drums. They get the basic drum kit. They practice. Next thing, the neighbours know there's a drummer in the street, okay? And they've got two options. You're sounding pretty good today. That Akadaka beats, you know. TNT's starting to sound a little bit more even today, you know. Thank you, Mr. Smythe. And either that or cut that out, will ya? As soon as I turned the lawnmower off, I could hear drums. Oh, dickhead. I was doing the power drill, putting the pergola together, and then I heard drums in the distance. I rang the council straight away. Dickhead. Do you see what I mean? So what happens, there's a little bit of live and let live, but what goes on here with noise regulations, Susie Cupidol is talking about for venues. They are shutting businesses down. So what happened, you know, these laws and shutting down the music for a venue. But what happens 10 years before, or 15 years before, 5 years before? Someone's got a kit like this, they get better through regular practice, they go see the local reputable teacher, not some cowboy. And what happens is that you end up joining a band with your mates. Next thing you know, you've got the car, mum or dad's not the roadie anymore, you've got your own car, you've got the drum kit in the back of the car, you joined a band, you're off and you're trying to get a gig at the Espy, you're trying to get a gig at Last Chance or Whole Lotta Love Bar and all that. Anyone will give you a crack like those venues do. And next thing you know, someone's ringing up saying, oh, you motherfucker. So that's what this is about, okay? So a bit of a twofold thing. I also did the thing about how to set up a set of drums. I'll leave tuning for another day. That's a whole episode right there. But I hope you got something out of this from two areas that I'm going through. The drums in the local street and the young son or daughter, somebody's son or daughter having a real crack. Isn't that wonderful, okay? And then going off to the venue and all that. They get it in the neck all the time with these noise regulations. Anyway, there you go. Back after the break, hey? No worries.